everybody, welcome to today's class. I hope you're well and not too hot already like I am. Let's get started. So we're just going to start with a little bit of a stretch. So we've done this yesterday. So we're just going to interlace the fingers, round the arms, around the back, and drop your head through that gap. Take nice deep breaths. Dropping those arms nice and tall through the chest. Take the hands behind, reach away and lift that upper body. And then again, take the hands in front, curving the back, dropping that head. Take the hands behind, pulling back and lift. Good, from there we're going to go into our breathing. So laying onto your back. Knees bent, feet on the floor. We want to be neutral, so you've got a slight curve underneath the lower spine here. So here we're just going to take some nice deep breaths in through the nose, out through a pursed lip. Breathing in and out. So as you're taking those nice deep breaths in and out, I want you to think about the position of your hips. So I want you to imagine you've got a torch on each hip bone and they're shining up parallel to one another onto the ceiling. Keeping the upper body relaxed. So shoulders are away from the ears, chest is nice and open. Keeping the weight even through those feet. So big toe, little toe and heel. Gently tightening in your tummy. From here, as you breathe out, I want you to tuck the pelvis under, so you're flattening your lower back into the mat. Take a deep breath in to stay. Exhale to release out to neutral. Tucking under to flatten. Holding here. And releasing out. So as you're tucking under, you're trying to find a nice strong flat back position. So you're using the pelvis and the tummy muscles to move. Try and avoid squeezing your bottom. Next time this back is nice and flat, I want you to hold it there. So as you hold your flat back position, we're going to start to tighten through your pelvic floor. So as you breathe out, you're tightening all the way in with the pelvic floor. Inhale to release. Exhale to tighten. Inhale to release. Exhale to tighten. Inhale to release. So you're thinking of the sensation of stopping a wee mid-flow. So as you're tightening, you should feel as though those tummy muscles are working harder, that your back is slightly flatter into the floor. We're going to half this contraction. So 50% tightening in the pelvic floor as you exhale. Inhale to release. So we still want this upper body to stay nice and relaxed, shoulders away from the ears, chest is nice and open. And if you're feeling tense, just turn those palms up towards the ceiling. You're pulling your tummy all the way down towards your spine. Keeping the weight even through your feet. So big toe, little toe, heel. Excuse me, sorry. We're halving one last time, so 20 to 25% tightening. So this should feel like a very gentle lifting, something that you could sustain throughout any exercise if you needed to. It's just working in the background. From here, you should feel like that back is nice and strong in your flattened position. So you're using your tummy muscles and your pelvic floor to keep it nice and strong. Those legs are going to lift so that your knees come above your hips and your shins are parallel to the ceiling. So we're going into that tabletop position. And we're going into toe taps. So we're tapping one toe down and we lift, swapping sides, tapping down and lift, tap and lift. Nice deep breaths. So you want to keep the tummy really tightened. You're using that pelvic floor. Breathe. Put two more on each side. We're tapping down and lift, tap down and lift. One more each side, tap down and lift, tapping down and lift. From there, you're going to hug those knees into your chest. Then we're going to go onto our hands and knees. So take a stretch out through the back. Knees underneath your hips, tummy's already nice and tight. As you breathe out, I want you to tuck the pelvis under, so you're curving your back. Arching the spine, I'm going to drop that head. Take a deep breath in to stay. Exhale, let the pelvis go back out to your start position. We're working through the spine and the head lifts. We're tucking under to curve, arching the back. Dropping the head, we hold. Releasing out through the spine. And the head lifts. So trying to get lots of movement through the back. Working into each of those sections piece by piece. So if any areas feel stiff or sore, you're just slowing it down. Moving each vertebrae one by one. So as you're curving your back, you're pulling the tummy all the way in. And as we release to our start position, we let the shoulders come away from the ears and we lift the head. We've got two more here. We're tucking under to curve, arching the back, dropping the head, we hold, releasing out through the spine, piece by piece. The head lifts. One more here. We're tucking under to curve, arching the back, dropping the head, we hold, releasing out piece by piece, and we lift the head. We're going to push ourselves back into a shell stretch, so bottom to the feet, reach those arms out in front, and then we're going to be on our sides for our chest stretch. So we're going to take the knees bent on your mat. Take those arms out nice and long in front of you, shoulder height. Let me just sort out my nose because I've got a runny nose. So then palm to palm, rest your head down. We're going to lift our top arm up so that the fingertips point to the ceiling. We're taking the head with us as we're twisting away towards the opposite wall. Holding here as you take your stretch. Before lifting back up and over. As you're coming down palm to palm. The top arm lifts, fingertips point to the ceiling. Take the head with you, twisting away, we hold. And we're coming back up and over. to come down palm to palm. So you want to keep our legs glued together and grounded, making sure that this movement comes through your waist. Nice deep breaths. Stretching your arm from your fingertips all the way into your armpit. Get this nice open position in your chest. Looking at this hand for as long as you can. Keeping a good range of movement through the head. Let's take 2 more on this side. We're lifting up, fingertips to the ceiling. Taking the head with you. We're twisting away. We hold. And we're coming back up and over. To come back down palm to palm. We've got 1 more here. Lifting up, fingertips to the ceiling. Take the head with you and we twist away. Holding there before lifting back up and over to come down palm to palm. So from there we're going to swap sides. So you can either roll over to face the other way, or you can switch ends of your mat. Completely up to you which one you prefer. So as you're laying down, remember to get those legs one on top of the other. Rest the head down, arms along, palm to palm. We're going to lift this top arm up, fingertips point to the ceiling. We're taking the head with us as we're twisting away. Holding here to stretch. Before lifting back up and over. To come down palm to palm. Lifting up, fingertips point to the ceiling. Taking the head with you, we're twisting away. Holding here to stretch. Before lifting back up and over. To come down palm to palm. So remember, we want those legs glued together. Staying nice and grounded. In this twist through your waist. Nice deep breaths. We're stretching the arm nice and long from the fingertips all the way into the armpit. Really opening up in your chest. Remember to look at that hand for as long as you can. So we're getting a good range of movement on both sides of the head. We'll take 2 more here, so we're lifting up, fingertips point to the ceiling. Take the head with you, and we're twisting away. We hold, before lifting back, up and over, to come down palm to palm. One more time, we're lifting up, fingertips point to the ceiling. Taking the head with you, we're twisting away. We hold, before coming back, up and over, to come back down, palm to palm. From there, I want you to take a nice full body stretch. You can roll onto your back here if you prefer. From there, if you need to grab yourself a drink, we are going to be on our backs. Okay, so as you're laying on your back, you want those knees bent, feet on the floor, and again we're in a neutral position. So you should have that slight curve underneath your lower spine. Bring those arms just resting down beside you. We're taking a nice deep breath in to nod the head, chin to chest. Exhale to lift the shoulders from the floor, reach those arms nice and long. Take a deep breath in to stay. Exhale to control back down. Chin to chest. Lifting up, we hold. Control back down. So we're using our tummy muscles to lift us. You're pulling your belly button all the way down. Use this chin to chest position to keep the neck nice and relaxed. So we want to think about taking a really big nod of the head first, then tightening in that tummy. Keeping the shoulders away from the ears with the arms reaching nice and long. Breathe. We're using the pelvic floor, so make sure you're tightening all the way in with that pelvic floor. We're going to take 2 more here, then change those arms. So we're chin to chest. Lifting the shoulders, reaching those arms, we hold. Control back down, one more time. Chin to chest. Lifting up, we hold. Control back down. So from here, you're still going to go chin to chest and lift up. You're going to take one arm across towards the opposite knee. So you're taking a twist here. The other arm just stays down beside you. Come back to the centre, down onto the floor. Chin to chest, lifting up. Reaching across, back to the centre and down. So you can support the head here if you need to. Just make sure that as you do that, you're going to take that hand away from the head to reach towards the knee. Keep that tummy nice and tightened. Use your chin to chest position. Making sure that your neck is nice and relaxed. Breathe. Got 2 more on each side. We're reaching over to the centre and down, chin to chest. Lifting up, we're reaching over to the centre and down. One more time on each side, chin to chest and lift. Reaching over, centre and down. One more time, chin to chest. We lift, reaching over, centre and down. From there, you're hugging those knees in towards your chest. And then you're going either onto your knees or onto your front if you prefer. Grab a drink if you need one. So I'll come forward a little bit so that I'm in shot. Sorry, I'm very slow today. Okay, if you don't like kneeling, if you don't like bearing weight through your knees, if you find it uncomfortable, then you can lay on your front. Just remember to get a nice and long position through your body, hands mat width apart in line with your ears, and you're going into chest lifts. If you're okay on your knees, then you're kneeling up nice and tall through your upper body. Try to have this tummy nice and tightened the whole time. Sorry, someone's playing music really loudly, it's really distracting me. I don't know if you can hear it. Have your lower leg just resting behind you. If you do suffer from cramp, then tuck the toes under. If not, then just resting down. Shoulders are relaxed, so have your arms just down beside you. Just take a really gentle nod of the head, so your slight chin to chest, just to keep it nice and relaxed. From here, as you breathe in, you're going to pull the tummy in. You're going to start to lean away from your body using your knees. Exhale, squeeze your bottom to lift up. So you're going to lean back and lift. Leaning back and lift. So my lean is really small. You can make that movement bigger if you want to. Just make sure it's coming through those knees. If you are leaning back further, you'll feel it really fire up through your quads, through the front of your thighs. Making sure the tummy stays tightened the whole time. Got 2 more here, then we'll change the movement. Inhale back. Exhale to lift one more time. Inhale back. Exhale to lift. So if you're laying on your front and you're doing chest lifts, you're going to lift both arms off of the floor with you as you go. If you're on your knees like me, we're going to take those hands in front of the chest like we did last week, but this time as you're leaning back and twist, you're going to take the arm with you, looking at that hand, lifting back up, twisting away, and lift. So as you lean and twist, I want to look to that hand, so you're really twisting the whole of the upper body. Again, it doesn't matter how big or small that lean and twist is. Remember to tighten your tummy on the way back. Squeeze your bottom as you lift. Same breathing. shoulders stay relaxed. We're taking 2 more on each side. Lean and twist and centre. Lean and twist and centre. One more time on each side. Lean and twist, centre, lean and twist and centre. Relaxing there. So whether you were on your front or your knees, I want you to come into a shell stretch position. So bring your bottom back towards your feet. Reach those arms out in front. And from there, we're going to be on our backs for the 100. Remember to grab yourself a drink if you need one. So from here, bring yourself down onto your back. Hopefully a little more smoothly than me. Okay, so we're going to be in a flat back position, but just for now, find a position that's comfortable while I talk you through. So as always, with flat back, tucked under, losing that gap. The legs will be lifted to tabletop, so remember that's knees above your hips, shins parallel to the ceiling. And as always, if you want to challenge that and work harder, you're taking your knees away from your hips, shins still parallel, back still nice and flat. You can stay in the box shape if you prefer. From there, we're going to be nodding the head, lifting the shoulders and your arms along. So you're going to change the way your palms face with your breathing. As you're breathing in, your palms will face the floor. As you're breathing out, your palms will face the ceiling. It's the same amount. It's the same breath pattern. So the arms will look like this. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so on, just switching that hand facing. From there, your hands will come behind your head. Your legs are still lifted here. And you're going into 2 sets of 8, sitting up towards those legs. Once you finish those 2 sets of 8, rest your head down, bring your arms beside you, glue those legs together. And we're going to go into 2 sets of 8, tipping the legs over to the side where you're releasing your hip. So we do this quite frequently in the warm-up. We have done it in the 100 before. And then from there, we're going to relax and take a stretch. Okay? So find your strong flat back position. And then when you're ready, lift your legs up. So remember, knees above your hips, shins parallel to the ceiling. From there, we nod the head and lift the shoulders, taking the arms nice and long. And we inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tummy in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pelvic floor, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Halfway, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tummy in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 more, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Staying here, take those hands behind the head. We're sitting up for 8, 7, 6, breathe, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 8 more, 8, 7, 6, breathe, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. From there, rest your head down, arms come down beside you, glue your legs together. We're tipping over, release that hip. And centre, tipping over. And centre, use the tummy, tipping over. And centre, tipping over. and centre, ground those shoulders, tipping over. And centre, tipping over. And centre, tipping over. And centre, tipping over. And centre, 8 more, tipping over. And centre, deep breaths, tipping over. And centre, tipping over. And centre, tipping over. And centre, 4 more, tipping over. And centre, tipping over. And centre, last 2, tipping over. And centre, tipping over. And centre, hug the knees into your chest. And bring yourself into a full body stretch. And shake out those legs if you need to. From there we're coming up to sitting. And we're going to be going into a stretch. Grab yourself a drink if you need one. So if you joined me yesterday, we're doing the same stretch. We're going to be doing the mermaid stretch. I know some of you really love, some of you really don't, and that's fine. So you can be in either a full mermaid position with the legs or a half, and either is fine. Whatever works for you and the comfort for your hips and your knees. So if you're in a full mermaid position, you'll have one leg bent in front of you like this leg, and the other leg will be bent behind you like this leg, but as far round as you can. If that's too uncomfortable, just bring your legs into a cross-legged position, but you still want one leg in front and one leg behind. And again, either a nice tight cross-legged position or slightly open if you prefer. If you're stuck for space and you're in quite a narrow space, shimmy yourself down to one end of your mat, and that end will be the leg that's tucked behind. So the hand on the side of the front leg is going to be dropped down towards the floor, and the hand on the side of the back leg is going to be reaching long and away. So I want you to reach over towards that hand, leaning across. Keep the reach going as you lift yourself all the way up and over. This hand should now be touching the floor, and it's going to slide away from you. You're going to let this arm just stretch all the way over. If you're feeling flexible enough, you can bend this bottom arm and rest on the forearm, but if not, just stay on long arms. Deep breaths. Really reaching through this top arm. And come all the way back up and over. We're going again now, reaching across. All the way up and over, slide that arm away. And lean. Back up and over. We've got one more time on this side. We're going to reach, lift and lengthen, sliding away, up and over, holding to stretch. Lifting back up and over, give those arms a little shake out. So from there, we're going to go on to the other side. So if you are on one side of your mat, you're going to need to shimmy down to the other. same position with the legs. You're either in full mermaid, which is one leg in front and one leg tucked behind like this. If remember, if that's too much in your hips or your knees, then bring that back leg under in a cross leg position. If you are in cross legs, then it'll probably feel weird on this side because you'll always have one side you favour than the other. It also doesn't matter if you've done a different position on each side, full and then half, that's fine. So this front, the arm on the same side as the front leg is reaching down, arm on the same side as the back leg is long. So we're reaching away, then reaching all the way up and over. That hand drops to the floor and slides away, giving you that nice stretched position. If you're flexible enough, drop down to that forearm. If not, stay on a long arm. So really stretching the side of your body. Come back up and over. And again, reach all the way up and over. Sliding away, nice long arm. Back up and over. We're going to do one more here, reaching away. All the way up and over. Coming down to the side. And lifting up, just give those arms a little shake out. And just take the head from side to side if you're feeling a little tense down the neck. Bring those feet into our frog position. Hands just on the hips or on the thighs and take a bounce through the legs. Just little pulses. Relaxing there, take the hands on your feet. Drop yourself forwards, and here's where you can push your elbows in towards your legs if you need to increase that stretch. Good, from there we're going to be laying on our sides to work through the legs. As always, grab a drink if you need one here. So, as you're laying down, you want to just take those legs nice and long. If you can, have your arm resting out to rest your head on, the underneath arm, sorry. If not, take the arm bent and the head in the hand. From here, I want you to flex your feet and look down your body. And if you can see your toes, then you know your legs are in the right position. If not, just shimmy the legs forwards very slightly. So you're not in a dead straight line, you're just slightly angled through those hips. Use your hand to just check that your hips are nice and stacked up. So you want to be leaning and balancing really on that bottom hip. So if it feels quite easy and quite comfortable, just check that you are in that right position. Really zip up underneath your waist. You can use this top hand for support here if you need to. So we're going to go straight in and we're lifting the top leg up pointed. Flex the foot to come back down. I don't want you to come any higher than the hip. Don't worry if mine is looking a little bit smaller. Yours stays no higher than hip height. You're really working through the ankle and through the foot with that point into flex. Point into flex. Keep tightening in your tummy. point, into flex. Let's take 4 more here. Point and flex. Point and flex. Last 2. Point and flex. Point and flex. From here, you're going to lift that top leg up just to hip height, and we're going to circle forwards for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop that leg back down. Let's give it a little shake if you need to here. Remember, the hips are nice and stacked up. We're going to be lifting that top leg up no higher than hip height. Your bottom leg will come to meet it, and they come back down. Mine's super small, don't worry about that, but yours goes no higher than the hip. Lift, lift, and down. Lift, lift, and down. Deep breaths. Lift, lift, and down. 4 more. Lift, lift, and down. Lift, lift, and down. Last 2. Lift, lift, and down. Lift, lift, and down. Double lifts coming up and down. Lift and down. Breathe. Lift and down. Lift and down. 4 more. Lift and down. Lift and down. Last 2. Lift and down. Lift and down. We're going to go into that double lift with the hinge through the waist. So you're pushing down this long arm, and at the same time you're going to lift both legs away from the floor. Ideally you want the hand on the hip here, but you can take the hand for support for now if you need to. Let's just give it a try. We're only doing 8. So press down to lift your upper body and the legs at the same time. Here we go. We lift and down. Lift and down. Lift and down. Lift and down. 4 more. Lift and down. Lift and down. Last 2. Lift and down. Lift and down. Relax there. We're going to swap sides. So you can either roll over to face the other wall, or switch the end of your mat that you're laying at. So remember, you're either nice and long with that arm as it rests on the floor, or you can take the elbow bent with the head in the hand if you need to. Check those hips are stacked. Zip underneath the waist. Look down at your feet as you flex the toes. And if you can't see them, bring them further forwards. We're lifting this top leg up pointed for legs to come back down. So don't worry if my lifts look really small. All I want you to do is make sure that you're not lifting any higher than your hip. Point to lift. Flexing down, working through that hip. Point to lift. Flexing down. Breathe. Let's take 4 more here. Lifting up and down. Lifting up and down. Last 2. Lifting up and down. Lifting up and down. Lift that leg up, and we're circling forwards for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just give that leg a little shake out if you need to. Check you're still nice and stacked. You're lifting your top leg no higher than the hip. Bottom leg meets it, they come down. Lift, lift and down. Lift, lift and down. Deep breaths. Lift, lift and down. Halfway. Lift, lift and down. Lift, lift and down. 2 more. Lift, lift and down, lift, lift and down. Double lifts coming up and down, lift and down, breathe, lift and down, lift and down. 4 more, lift and down, lift and down. Last 2, lift and down, lift and down. So now you're going to be going into your upper body lift as well as the legs, pressing into that arm. Keep the hand for support if you need it, if not on the hip. Here we go, we're doing 8, lifting up and down, lift and down. We're lifting up and down, lift and down. Halfway, lift and down, lift and down. Last 2, lift and down, lift and down. Relaxing there, take a full body stretch. You can roll onto your back if you need to here. Once you've finished having a stretch, we will be on our hands and knees. So we're going to take the hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, toes are tucked under here. If your wrists are sore, which hopefully they are okay, because we haven't done any weight bearing, you can drop onto your forearms. Just remember those arms stay parallel. If not, you're on long arms. As you breathe out, pull your tummy all the way in. Press into the hands and the feet. The knees are lifting just an inch or so from the floor. Inhale down. Exhale to lift. Inhale down. Lifting up and down. So you're thinking tummy muscles are lifting me here. My hands and my feet are there for support. Stay nice and strong. Want to keep that head in line with the rest of the body. So if you're on long arms, look just past those fingertips. If you're on your forearms, then just look straight down to your mat. I just want you to avoid dropping the head or lifting the head too far up in front. Four more here. Lifting up and down, and lift and down. Last 2, lift up and down, lift and down. From there, just relax yourself back and roll through those wrists. And then we're going to be going into our planks. So we did yesterday our lift of our planks bottom high, so into that downward dog position, stepping through the feet and then into a long plank. We're going to do the same thing today. It doesn't matter if you didn't join in yesterday. I'll demonstrate the downward dog, but the plank will obviously be on my knees. You can do this on your forearms if you need to. So upper body and knees just come slightly further away from you with those toes tucked under. We're going to push that bottom up nice and high, so you're in your downward dog. And then I want you to walk through those feet. So that should hopefully give you a really nice stretch through those legs. Just take your time while you're there. Really feel that stretch. When you're ready, from there you're going to transition into your plank position. So your bottom comes under, nice long line. You're going to hold your plank for a breath in and out, and relax. So you're pushing up high into that downward dog. You keep taking it at your own pace. Walk through those feet. So just little padding, and that should feel like a really nice stretch in your calf. You can stay there to do that walking through for as long as you need to. When you're ready, start to tuck yourself forwards. Bring that upper body over the hands or the upper arm, making sure that you haven't left your bottom behind I know you haven't tucked it too far under, putting pressure on your back. Squeeze it and pull that tummy in. And relax. So you're just going to keep repeating these here as I talk you through. Make sure that you're breathing the whole way through. So you don't want to be holding the breath during any of the movements. So when you're downward dog, nice deep breaths. That should feel like a really comfortable stretch. It shouldn't feel like you're having to hold your breath and strain. Just take your time with it. Bring yourself into that long line for your plank. So the nice diagonal line. If you're on long arms, if you're on your forearms, you're nice and flat through the body. Just check that you're not too dropped through the hips. And again, breathe whilst you're there. Just keep it nice and controlled. You're taking them in your own time. You can take a moment between if you need to. Keeping that breath going. Just make sure you're not bringing those shoulders up to the ears. Keep them nice and relaxed and down underneath yourself. You've got 2 more here. Push that bottom up nice and high. Find that stretch. Walk through those feet. When you're ready, bring yourself into that nice long plank. And relax. 1 more here. Push that bottom up nice and high. Start padding through those feet. Feeling that nice stretch in the calves. Bring yourself into that long line. Breathing in and out. And relaxing there. From there, grab yourself a drink if you need one. And then bring yourself into either a seated and knelt or a standing position. It's completely up to you which you'd prefer. Doesn't matter which one you do. And from there, we're just going to go into our shoulder rolls back. And forwards. Take those arms up to the side, we lift up. We stretch over. Back to the centre, we're lifting up. Stretching over. Back to the centre one more time, each side lift up. And over. Back to the centre, lifting up. And over. Back to the centre, that's the end of today's session, thank you. Thank you so much for joining me for today's class. Hope that you enjoyed it. I'm going to sort of waffle on a little bit here like I have been for the last couple of weeks anyway. So live classes are going to finish on Friday the 29th of August. So that is not this Friday, it's not next Friday, it's the Friday after. Next Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday there is no live classes because I'm going to visit my sister and my gorgeous niece and nephew for a few days, and so there won't be sessions. So sessions will run for all of this week up until Friday, then they'll resume next Thursday, Friday, and then we'll have one final week of live classes and then they'll finish. I hope that that's really clear to everybody. If there is any questions on that, then just drop me a message or comment on the video below. Yeah, any questions on anything really, if you want any help or advice or anything like that. I'll probably keep waffling on about this for the entire time that I keep doing classes, but just remember, even when I stop, that I'm still there for you to be able to contact if you want to. So please don't feel like you can't contact me because I've stopped sessions. It's absolutely fine. It just might take me a little bit longer to get back to you. I hope you have a lovely day. It's going to be another complete and utter scorcher, I think. Try and keep nice and cool. I'm definitely going to be trying to, and I will see all of you very soon. Take care and have a lovely day. Bye.